everybody, I'm Ryan Dietrich with Schaefer's Investment Research. So far in 2014, it's pretty obvious to say we are not in the same environment as we were last year in 2013. And as of right now, the S&P is about flat for the year, but we've been calling this kind of the stealth sell-off, where if you look at small caps, you look at tech, there's a lot of underlying selling pressure going on. A lot of the high-flying tech stocks and small caps are down 20 to 30%, whereas the S&P is still just a few percent away from its all-time high. Now, again, when you get down to it, one thing we've noted before, and I remember last year talking about this, usually January is a strong month. Usually February is kind of a weakish month. But when you have both of them higher, like we did last year, that's actually pretty bullish. But what's kind of strange about this year, though, is we had the exact opposite. January was actually lower. February was actually higher. What does that mean? Well, we broke it down, and here's what we found. If you look into it, you can see here, when both are up, that's usually the best scenario, and that's what we noted many times last year. The rest of the year is up 10% on average, and then higher 88% of the time. Now, when things are quote-unquote normal, when you have a January that's up and a February that's down, that's the bottom one there. It's happened 6 times since 1980, up 9% on average, pretty good. But here's what is obviously concerning to someone who's at least bullish here. When you have a down January and up February, like this year, the rest of the year is actually only up about 3% on average. The median return is right around there also at 3.7%. So, then when you get down to that point of view, it's like, okay, well, it's always important to take a closer look. There's only so many instances since 1980. So again, then we broke it down again, taking a closer look at those times that's happened where January was down and then February was higher. And here's what we found on this one. You can see, it definitely has some concerns there. 81 down 6%, flat in 1990. But then, I guess an optimist would say, well, you started in 1991. It's been higher every single time going out. The rest of the year, about 5.5%, 3.7%, and then 14% on average. The rest of the year back in 2010. So, there's lots of different ways to look at it here. The reality of the fact is so far this year isn't starting off nearly as well as you would have hoped, but still, the S&P gained almost 30% last year, and we've done lots of studies since 1991 when you have a 20% gain for the year. That next year, the next 7 times has actually been higher. Now, it doesn't mean they're screeching higher gains. We are still bullish at Schaefer's, but there are some clear, obvious concerns under the surface with some of the weakness in small caps and tech here. But I keep kind of saying this year could play out to some type of a 2004 scenario. And if you think back to then, had a big rally in 2003, and then 2004 is just a choppy, frustrating market. We never really even had a 10% correction. We kind of corrected through time versus price, and by the end of the year, kind of resolved that and worked our way higher. And you fast forward what we're seeing right now. I know we're just 3 months into things here, but still, it's kind of been a choppy, sideways market, frustrating a lot of people. And bigger picture, that's not necessarily the end of the world. Again, the market can correct through time versus price. So that's kind of what we're seeing. Lastly, I guess the second year of the presidential cycle, we've heard a lot about how you can have some pretty good sized sell-offs in the summer months and into the fall. But one consistent thing, and we found this also with our studies, usually the second year of a presidential cycle will actually make a new high near the end of the year. You just have to maybe have some volatility and sell-off before you get there. And that could play out again. So with that, again, I'm Ryan Dietrich. Hopefully you learned something, and I will talk to you guys soon. See you later.